Welcome to the Wrestling Replay. It's Kato here with the Monday Night Raw Replay of the week. Now it's the week of Christmas. We got some good wrestling on. It's time for your family and friends. You get to enjoy those guys. But we get the best of both because we get what we like to watch and the people we like to do it with, hopefully. But let's go ahead and jump right into our Monday Night Raw Replay. Now, I'm going to be honest. Coming off a really good pay-per-view like TLC, I thought that Raw would be a little bit better, but we did get to see some build up. We did see some things advance, and one storyline that I'm really invested in, which I'm sure everyone else is really invested in also, is this Randy Orton and The Fiend. Now, we did not get to see TLC. Randy Orton ended up, setting The Fiend on fire to win that Inferno match, which brings me to the point of, when guys like The Undertaker and Kane, they retired, I personally thought we wouldn't see matches like the Inferno match, the Buried Alive, a casket match, things like that. Those type of matches where it was those guys' match. It was their trademark match, their marquee match. So without these guys, it's nice to see that we're still able to get some of these type matches. But nonetheless, The Fiend was set on fire, but we did see the return of Alexa Bliss to Monday Night Raw, and we was actually at Alexa Bliss Playground. Now, she did warn Randy Orton that if The Fiend did come back, it would be a Fiend like he'd never seen before. Now, when The Fiend first came on the scene, it was something we never seen before. It was like, okay, he has, phenomenon. It was like, okay, he has these abilities that we've never seen since The Undertaker or since Kane. Even in the Inferno match, when he made, all the flames come up. That's definitely a reminder of how Kane was when he first came into the WWE. So, how much better can he get during this layoff? So this should be really good. I'm really excited to see the actual return of The Fiend and how he's going to look in his return from actually being set on fire. Will he be, able to just run through everybody? Will he run through Randy Orton? Will he put Randy Orton on the shelf? Who knows? So I'm really excited about that. We also got to see, in our main event, we got to see Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and Keith Lee actually team up to go against The Miz, Morrison, and AJ Styles. A match in which they actually won. They actually beat The Miz, Morrison, and AJ Styles, who seem to always be on the right page. And, coming into the match, Sheamus and Keith Lee, they haven't been getting along ever since the Survivor Series team. So these are two guys who really don't like each other much, now forced to be on the same team, and Drew McIntyre is trying to be the glue to keep the whole team together. Right, so they did actually pick up the win, but after the match is where things got interesting, and Sheamus hit Keith Lee with a bro kick. All right, now we all know that Keith Lee's name was on the list to go back to the Performance Center. I'm not sure if he will be taken away from Monday Night Raw and go back to the Performance Center, or if he'll just be having to pull extra duty during the week and, go Tuesday and Wednesday. I believe it's 2 days a week or something like that. But if he'll just go his 2 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, whatever it may be, and actually, do whatever Vince want him to do, whatever he see him as, a big man regarding Keith Lee's stature, size, and skill set. So maybe we will benefit by still seeing Keith Lee on Monday Night Raw, and he won't have to, be taken off the air. That would be pretty cool because Keith Lee is one of the better in-ring performers in the WWE and on the Raw roster right now, especially guys his size that's able to do the things he can do. We just don't see that too often. It's not every day someone like that comes along. Now, let's go ahead and jump into these tag champs. I'm talking about the women tag champs, all right? Now, we got Asuka and Charlotte Flair as the women tag team champions. Now, good thing about me is that I do these vlogs, right? So, if you go back and back and back and back, and every video ever since Lana started getting put through a table and they started building her as like the ultimate baby face, I was saying there's no way that she's going to be the one to come in and take out Asuka. There's no way she's going to be the one to stand up to the bullies and take out the bullies. It's going to have to be someone like Charlotte Flair or Rhea Ripley. Now, ironically, well, not ironically, but I guess it right. Charlotte Flair ended up coming back at TLC. Her and Asuka managed to win these tag team titles. The one thing I can say I don't like is the fact that Asuka has the Raw title and the tag team titles at the same time. I'm not sure exactly why they chose to do that, or what their plan may be in the future going forward. But I feel like we just seen that with Sasha Banks and Bayley, where they held all the titles. So it's like, Are you trying to tell me there's no women on that Raw roster that can actually challenge Asuka? So are you saying that we only need one women's championship? Because it's no reason that these women should constantly be holding two titles at once. Your women's roster is too big and too talented for something like that. Now, we did see the tag team champs in action. They ended up facing Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce, which is a team that just they don't look good together. I feel like they're just throwing things on the wall and seeing what stick. This does not stick. You took Peyton Royce out of a tag team where she legitly gelled in, and then paired her up with someone like Lacey Evans, who actually excels at being a singles wrestler. She could be someone who's taking on Asuka for that Raw Championship, but yet you have her paired in a tag team. So that makes no sense to me at all, like whatsoever. Maybe they should open up those women tag team titles also to the NXT roster, so that way you have more women, female teams to actually, challenge for those titles. So that way you don't have to just throw and pair together random women from your SmackDown Raw roster. That would make the most sense to me. But nonetheless, they did get the win over Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce that just looked out of their wits and out of sorts. Later on, they would actually come down and check out the former champions, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, going against Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. That was a team I was really high on when they first debuted. Like, I liked their look. They had a really good look, and I thought they could be something really good. I really hope they managed to bring back Sonya Deville. I think she would be a great manager for this tag team, and that would really put them over as a tag team if you did something like that. But nonetheless, they end up losing to Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, who is a better tag team. And even though they're not friends, the best of friends or anything, they still managed to do a pretty good job as a tag team because they're both so dominant. And that's all they do, is go in the ring and assert their dominance on their opponents, and it works for them. So that's perfect. The perfect pairing. Now, you did have the champs at the ramp. They was looking on, making fun of them, after the match. So, we'll have to see where this goes. Definitely gonna be a rematch. We'll definitely see these two teams lock it up again. And I'm actually hoping that, I hate to say this, but I hope that Baszler and Jax actually take the titles back off of Charlotte Flair and Asuka, mainly for the fact that I'd rather see Charlotte Flair in singles action. I don't want to see Charlotte Flair back and teaming up with anybody. No, now if she wanted to come and save Lana, that's perfectly fine, but to put her in a tag team, come on, no, I'm not for that. Not for that at all. Speaking of new tag teams, we finally got to see the Hardy Bros. Jeff Hardy and Matt Riddle actually teamed up against Bobby Lashley and MVP, which they lost again. These guys aren't off to a pretty good start, but look for this tag team to actually build some momentum and start to put together some wins, and probably see them challenging for those tag team titles, which is held by the other two members of the Hurt Business. Now, we did get to see Angel Garza in action. He managed to get a win over Drew Gulak, so that was pretty good to see Angel Garza go and get back on that winning streak, get back on his winning ways. Jackson Riker, we got to see him against Grand Malik. He managed to get a win. He's a really talented wrestler. I like the pairing with him and Elias. I prefer them to actually be a tag team versus him just being like a bodyguard to Elias being a singles wrestler and he being his own type of singles wrestler. I think these two could actually be a pretty good tag team if they actually put them together as such. And we also seen Ricochet. Man, Ricochet is going to lose to every member. Wait, hold up. Yeah, he's going to lose to every member. I believe Slapjack is the only member left that have not beat Ricochet. I just don't get it. If he loses and goes into Retribution, what does that do for Retribution? Nothing at all. You got somebody who don't want to be there. If he's losing and then joining Retribution on his own, pretty much saying I give up and I submit to you guys, I give in, you're pretty much turning them from a face to a heel, unless you're trying to pull the okie doke where he joins and try to destroy them from the inside. Either way, I don't really like this storyline with Ricochet and Retribution. I think they missed it on Retribution. They had a chance to make something good happen, but they ended up just missing. So I think they should go ahead and start scrapping the idea. You got some pretty good guys inside of Retribution. Mustafa Ali's pretty good. T-Bar's pretty good. So Macy's going back to the Performance Center. Slapjack, he wasn't bad. That's when I finally got to see him in action, like one-on-one action. He wasn't bad, let these guys, go ahead, break off on their own and do their own thing, because this Retribution thing is, unless you're able to kind of get some steam back or build some type of momentum, I don't really see where it's going. I don't see anything that's going to really happen. Now, that was pretty much everything that happened on Monday Night Raw. The one thing I did not talk about yet was the fact that The Miz, actually, he did not cash in his Money in the Bank at TLC. It was Morrison who cashed in that Money in the Bank at TLC. So, Miz is, getting a petition started. He's making phone calls. He's calling the networks. He's calling management. So, if he gets his briefcase back, that will make things a little bit more interesting, and I will be excited to actually see that and see what happens with that going forward. But other than that, man, I mean, that was pretty much Monday Night Raw. It was an okay show. I thought it was going to be maybe a little bit stronger coming off of that TLC pay-per-view to, wrap up the year or something like that. But it was fine. It gave you enough information to kind of let you know what was going to happen going forward. But, everything else, man, it was just a pretty good show. It didn't really wow me or anything like that. So, yeah, that was your breakdown. But I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know what you guys think about Monday Night Raw. Do you think Miz is going to actually get his briefcase back? And if he does, do you see him being a champion again after 10 years? And what do you think about Charlotte Flair and Asuka as tag team champions? I don't really like it, but let me know what you guys think. You can always drop a comment down below. I check out all the comments. So I'll see everything you guys say. And that pretty much does it, man. So Merry Christmas, everybody. If you're seeing this before Christmas or after, doesn't matter. But Merry Christmas. I'm Kato, signing off. But before I do, make sure you guys subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on your notifications. All right? I'm out of here. Peace.